Hi, Christian Chudo here, academyofphotography.com. Today, like any serious photographer, especially on YouTube, I would like to go through the equipment I'm using. Especially on weddings and location shoots, I always carry a big bag, a very heavy bag with a lot of equipment. I'm gonna show you in detail what I'm using. Just be aware, all this equipment has been purchased over the years. I have started my photography business with only one camera, a 5D Mark II, which I purchased many years ago, and only one lens. I've done a few weddings, I got a little bit of money, and I purchased the second lens, and so on, so on, so on. Now I think I have almost a complete set of very high quality equipment. I'm very happy about. It's not, sometimes it's worth investing the right money into buying the right equipment. Sometimes you can get away just with the eBay cheapies, but I'm gonna go through that with you shortly. First of all, the camera bag. The camera bag is very important because it's gonna save you a lot of effort. I used to carry a backpack for a couple of years, and every time I would have a 10-hour, 12-hour wedding, that would be absolutely exhausting. Next day, back pains and so on and so forth. I actually took the step and spent a bit of money, not that much, $300 to $400, and I purchased a proper camera bag. My proper camera bag is this one. Is quite heavy. The very good thing about this one is it acts like this, very easy to handle. You can take it through the airport, you can take it through wherever you go. It does have wheels. It's very, very convenient, very easy to handle. If you walk for many hours in the day, that certainly is very useful. You can use it obviously like that, but I'm not gonna recommend it. The best thing, the most beautiful thing about this, it can become a backpack when necessary if you are shooting somewhere. If you are shooting somewhere and you don't have, and you can't use the wheels, for example, if you are in the middle of a field, this can become quite handy. I have used it a lot. I think this is the best choice. I am going to go through the content now. This one cost probably $300-400, but it's actually worth the effort because, as I mentioned before, it took me a long time to realize that I'm not going to go anywhere with the backpack, very heavy, and the heavier, the more time passes, you're going to get more equipment and the heavier it gets. So, long story short, one zipper, two compartments. I'm going to go through the main compartment first. Okay, so my main camera is a 5D Mark II. This is the main camera, and I keep always a 24 to 70 on it. I take 80 to 90% of the pictures. It's a 5D Mark II with a hand grip. I love the hand grip because it gives a lot of flexibility to keep it. Also, it will make you look good because the camera looks big. Everyone has a wow factor when they see it. Not a lot of people know that this is not part of the camera. It comes, actually this is one of the cheapies I was talking to you about. Just be aware when you buy something cheap from eBay, is the quality will speak for itself. It's not going to work, it's not going to trigger, but this one is just for the hand grip. It doesn't really matter. I would definitely go for the original one next time. So main 24 to 70, obviously with the CF card in it. I'm not going to go through that too much. Obviously the card and the batteries are inside. This will help me shoot for 10 hours without even blinking. The second camera body, I'm using the second camera body. I'm using them in the same time. My second choice will be the 70 to 200 telephoto lens. Very easy to install. I'm just gonna put it here like that for all the portraiture from a distance. Very impressive. When people see it, they're always impressed. For this one, I would normally use a shoulder strap, which this is how I can mount it and keep this on the shoulder on one side and keep that around my neck. They are very heavy pieces of equipment. It's not an easy job. Covering a wedding or something that lasts more than 4 hours, it's an exhausting exercise. The next lens I'm using, it's a macro lens. Love it for the ring shot, love it for the very narrow depth of field. Stabilizer, manual focus, automatic focus, and also the macro functions. Beautiful lens, beautiful glass. I keep on all my lenses filters. These are very cheap filters, $4 or $5 on eBay. It's just to protect the lens. If something happens, the filter gets scratched, not the lens. I would recommend everyone to get just normal simple pieces of glass. Don't spend the world. It's not worth it unless you do something special. 100 macro lens. The next choice I have is a 50mm 1.4, very beautiful in low light conditions, good for portraiture, good for low light. So always there's a reception when I'm going, or if there's portraiture in low light, I will definitely use this. It always gets a workout when I'm out and about. 50mm 1.4. This is one of the cheap lenses. It's not that expensive, $600, and it will do a very, very good job for the price it is. Without mentioning the 24-70 is $1,500. This is again $1,500. Everything is $1,500, up and down few $100. This with image stabilizer 70-200 will be probably $3,000. Now it's gonna be the next step forward. I'm gonna talk to you through a bit later. 24-70 is absolutely the sharpest lens you can get from Canon. I'm not sure about Nikon. I've heard that 24-70 is the best lens also for Nikon. That will be the first choice. This will be the second. You use this for portraiture, you will be surprised that it will never reach its sharpness. This is the sharpest of the sharpest. Moving on, these are just some leftovers caps. The latest addition to my collection, it's a beautiful lens. This is the 8-15 fisheye. Beautiful perspective, absolutely fantastic glass. 8-15 1.4. This is the lowest aperture I have. That's 2.8 and 2.8 and 2.8 and 1.4. The more advanced as a professional photographer you're gonna get, the better apertures, the wider apertures you're gonna want. 1.4 is probably the smallest I have. As mentioned before, I go 1.4, 2.8 or similar. This is very good, changing the perspectives. Sometimes I'm doing special shoots and also shooting some film. Fantastic lens. I spent $1,500 just for a couple of shots for each shoot. Absolutely beautiful lens. I'm not sure how I can protect it. I haven't done my research, but I hope I will find something to protect it. I'm afraid I'm gonna scratch it, so I need to be very careful with it. Again, gets a bit of workout every time I'm going outside, out and about. I'm just gonna put this on the side. Now, moving on, these are the lenses I've got. Other than that, what I'm using, obviously a flash. I would recommend the best flashes you're gonna get. This is Canon 580EX. I believe now there's a new model outside, a new model release, 600 and something. I'm absolutely satisfied with this flash. It's very powerful. If I put it on manual power, it's gonna give me a lot of light. One of the next purchases I'm gonna have, it will be a second flash or a third flash. It's gonna have the same value and quality. Where it is important, I would recommend not to compromise on quality. Just spend the money, go the distance and get your gear, because you're not gonna regret it. I'm gonna give you the example in a second what I'm talking about. This is the flash I'm using. It sits always on the camera. The second flash will come. I know the flashes will talk to each other, but the second flash will still come. Now, this was a battery pack. So what this does, it's gonna connect to the flash. Sorry, I'm gonna go again. It is connecting to the flash like this, and it will help me to shoot for longer. I have 8 more batteries into this. plus 4 batteries, 12 batteries. It's gonna hold for 4 hours shooting. It's not gonna go forever, but it will do a very good job. Just a funny story, when I purchased the first one, I just spent 20 bucks on eBay, bought a no-name one, and it literally melted in my pocket for the first shoot. So right at that moment I have decided that it's actually better to go the distance with the best quality where it really matters. I'm always loving a Birkin like everyone else, but where the spend is really worth it, I'm not gonna compromise on the quality. Just moving on without wasting much time. That's about it here. Nothing spectacular. I would keep also handy one set of wireless trigger for the flash if I want to do a remote flash shooting. That's just an accessory from the bag. This is a very cheap remote trigger for the flash. So how this works, I'm going to put the flash on this. This will be on the camera. It will trigger. I'm not sure if you can see a little bit of LED right here. This talks to this one. This will be on the camera. It will trigger the flash. This will be on the flash, and the flash can be triggered from a distance. I'm going to put this back. Okay, moving on this side, I would always keep a clean cloth for the lenses, spare cards. Just remember, it's always good to have cards. Go get the best and the biggest. What I'm gonna have here is, this is basically an adapter for just in case I get into trouble and the batteries are gonna die on me. I will always have the option to use this way, and there we go. We can use actually normal batteries. I always keep this one just in case something happens, but normally I would use the original batteries. Again, batteries, the hand grip will help me to keep shooting for 10 hours. Wireless remote, just in case we need it. I would have also a corded remote. This is very good for time lapse. It will have several options and you can do time lapse. You just connect it to your camera and it will trigger the way you want it, how many times you want it, for how long you want it. You can't do that with a normal wireless trigger. This is just the trigger, but this one will actually do more. I'm going to talk about this when we're going to talk about some time lapse. Very interesting, and sometimes it's very comfortable when you use the camera on tripod. Also, in my collection, I do have a couple of filters, just one with me. I keep some UV filters just in case. Also, this one is a ring style filter just for special effects during low light condition. Night photography, it's going to give you the nice 4-star or 6 stars effects. And in the front, this is where I am keeping usually a small action cam handy just in case, spare batteries, and I do have a couple of rain covers for both of the cameras. So this is it. As a photographer, this is more than enough. As mentioned before, I have started with only one camera and one lens, and I have increased my equipment in years. All the cameras and all the equipment have insurance just in case something happens with this beauty. I am completely covered. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Until I'll see you next time, I wish you happy shooting. Thank you very much.